All right, what is a private placement memorandum, also known as a PPM? A PPM is the overarching document that's going to guide the investment and lay out all the rules and regulations, everything that's been agreed to from the subscribers to the operators, which is us here at BCGK. It's supported by a few other documents that we're going to talk about as well, and just get a brief handle on what those are and how those are executed ultimately. So the three documents we're going to be talking about aside from the PPM, you've got an investor questionnaire, a subscription agreement, and the LLC's operating agreement. Each property is held in its own LLC solely for the use of operating and executing that specific deal and property. So let's talk about what these things are. The investor questionnaire is essentially exactly what it sounds like. It's about you. It's who you are and whether or not you're accredited or non-accredited. That's very important because with different deal styles come different levels of participation and who's allowed to participate in those. So what the investor questionnaire is going to do is spell out very clearly who you are and what deals you're qualified to invest in. The subscription agreement, it details that you've acknowledged some of these things and talks about your contribution amount. You've decided to invest with us, you're ready to move forward. How much are you investing? That's basically what the subscription agreement is all about. The LLC's operating agreement is the governing laws by which the LLC has to operate and function. It talks about what we can and cannot do, who the managers are, all the things that just govern how the LLC is able to function. And all of that is pretty much wrapped up together in a nice, neat little bow that's called the PPM, or the Private Placement Memorandum. That's put together by a syndication attorney. We use a great syndication attorney, incredibly reputable, great experience, he's just a great guy overall. So what he does is he puts together the PPM, which is going to guide the entirety of the deal. It's a very important document. So the investor questionnaire and the subscription agreement are actually physically signed by the investor and returned back to us. The LLC and the PPM are things that you acknowledge. The way you acknowledge those things, if you're not a lawyer yourself or a real estate professional, or even if you are, you might have this done by someone independent, just to have a second set of eyes on it. You're going to have those documents reviewed by whoever your financial professionals or your counsel is. You'll review all these documents, you'll make sure everything looks right, your agreed upon amount, what you're going to do, what the terms of the deal look like in terms of how long are we expected to hold the deal, what our projected returns are on the deal, and all the risks involved too. Quite honestly, that's a very important thing to mention because investing never comes without risk. We here at BCGK really do a very thorough job of underwriting, and we find ourselves in positions of strength each and every time we enter into a project because of our underwriting and what we do to really firm up the deal and make sure that it makes sense in a lot of ways, even if we experience some hiccups along the way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a collection of documents that guide the project. Again, the investor questionnaire, about you, subscription agreement, your contribution amount, LLC's operating agreement, a list of rules and regulations that we as the operators have to follow, and then the PPM, our good old private placement memorandum, is going to be the overarching document that encompasses all of those things, wraps it up in a nice, neat little bow, and will guide the process and guide us along the way.